Hey, how you guys doing? Welcome to the Lee Homestead. In today's video, we're going to talk about how I take care of baby chicks and some of the mistakes I've made along the way. As a disclaimer, I'm not a vet, so take my advice as that, my advice and my advice only. When in doubt, go to a vet. So we got these baby chicks. They are white leghorn baby chicks. They were the pullets they had towards the end of their chick days. And this is my brooder setup. It needs a clean. Baby chicks are messy. So I'll be cleaning that up here in a little bit. And there's some mistakes that I made while picking them out. These baby chicks, there was a couple of them that were a little sickly. And the lady asked, since I got the rest of the white leghorns, if I want them, she'd give them to me for free to see if I can take them home and nurse them up. Well, I couldn't say no to a couple more free baby chicks, and that was a big mistake. So one thing that I found once I got home is one was, both of them were kind of sickly. One was a lot worse than the other. And, I figured, maybe they just need some probiotics and electrolytes. I always use the Save a Chick probiotics electrolytes. You can get those at Tractor Supply, Southern States, most feed stores. And I always recommend, whether you get a mail order from the store or you hatch your own, always use electrolytes because it's good. They come out of the egg sometimes dehydrated, especially out of the male dehydrated, and it helps give them a boost. So the reason why I say I made a mistake at doing this is I found out that my baby chicks ended up having coccidiosis. So coccidiosis is one of the number one deaths to baby chickens, one of the causes for it. And there's many reasons why you can lose baby chicks. I've so far lost 3. And once I realized it was coccidiosis, I went back to Tractor Supply, found some Amprolium, I believe is what it's called. It's under the brand name Corid. And you can take a half a teaspoon and mix it into a quart of their water, and you treat it for 5 days, and that'll treat coccidiosis. But the problem with coccidiosis is, if you look into it a little bit, is there several day cycles of it. And depending on what day the chick is when you start treating it, might depend on whether or not it's going to survive. So I've already lost 3. The rest of the flock seem a lot better. The diarrhea has stopped, thank heavens, for the most part. As you guys know, this is my second baby chick video, so this is our second round of baby chicks. So I've learned a lot since the first one. But yeah, when you go to pick them out, do not accept any of them that are sickly. Don't do it, because you're going to put them all in a box, you're going to take them home, and you're going to put them in your brooder, and you're going to introduce... they're probably already introduced to this coccidiosis, don't get me wrong, but I don't know if I would have lost as many, and I don't know if it would be as bad as what I'm dealing with now as far as the symptoms and everything like that. So, heck, if you can deal with it, try avoid getting them in the store at all. Find a mail order hatchery, something that's close. Again, what I recommend with mail order hatcheries, there are several good ones across each part of the country. No matter what part of the country you're on, what you do is you need to find one that's on, if you're on the West Coast, find a hatchery that's on the West Coast to ensure that those baby chicks are not going to spend any more than 3 days in the mail. And preferably less if you can. If you can only deal with them in the mail for a night or 2 nights, that's the best case scenario. So the mail order hatchery that I used for my first batch was from Freedom Ranger Hatchery in Pennsylvania. Since I'm in Virginia, it was only a 2-day shipping, and all 16, they threw in an extra chick, and all 16 survived, and right now I'm reaping the benefits of their eggs. So it all depends on where you get them and possibly what they were introduced to before you get them. So the reason that I say if you cannot get them in the store, avoid it, is because you don't know what they were introduced to. They could have been mailed to the store and they're already stressed out, and then you take them and put them in a new environment. So that's 2 new environments within a few days, and they could die from stress. They could have birth defects because somebody didn't look them over properly. They could have got damaged in transit, and the store just threw them in the brooder and just throwing chicks around left and right. I don't know. Again, it's up to you to ask questions at the store that you're getting them, how they take care of them, how they got there, where they originally came from. Because I'm dealing with a coccidiosis outbreak, and it is not fun. So, if you do find out you have chicks with coccidiosis, whether it's, you take a fecal sample to the vet or you just happen to see all the symptoms and you're having baby chicks die left and right, here's what you do. So you take the Amprolium or the Corid and you mix it into their water, keep it in for 5 days. After the cycle of 5 days, you get something called Nutri-Drench, and you give it to them so it will, because this Corid will drop their levels of vitamin B in their system. And so you want to make sure that you're replacing that so they have the best chance of survival past the coccidiosis. The good news is, if you can get them past coccidiosis, they more than likely won't get it again. So yeah, I love chickens. I enjoy the eggs. I love the meat. But just watch where you get them. And because it's not fun burying baby chicks every couple days. So I happened to catch them all asleep. So I'm going to let you know about my setup. Because the one thing that I didn't like about my other video, my first video, is I didn't really show you around my brooder much. So I get a quart water and feeder and keep it on the cool end and keep a warm end with the lamp. How I make sure the temperature's right, you can get this at Tractor Supply. It's a Producer's Pride thermometer. It tells you exactly what they need to be in. If you have turkeys, you add 5 degrees. You put it down in it and you let it set for 10 minutes and you can check the temperature around the coop at their level. So it's absolutely fantastic. The bedding I use is the pine shavings from Tractor Supply, and they're nice. And then what I did with my water here is I took a piece of plywood and I wrapped it in newspaper so they wouldn't hurt themselves on it, get scratched on it or splinters. And it keeps their water a lot cleaner than what it would have been if I sat it in the bedding like I did the feed. So here's the station I set up to help mix some of the stuff that I tried. So I ended up getting VetRx because it helps them with colds and things. It comes with a pamphlet inside that gives you the directions on how much to give each chick. And I always have my half teaspoon so this is what the Corid looks like. And that's how you treat coccidiosis. It's in the caffeine section, but this 9.6 oral solution, it kills all 9 strains of coccidiosis. So it'll kill any of the coccidiosis strains that are in chickens. So that's an updated version on how I take care of baby chicks and how to take care of them when they're sick. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.